Backstroke right, backstroke right. Roll, pull hard, roll, 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 pull, pull, pull.
Yeah. You all right, buddy?
Oh, I got
no. I'm tired.
Hey guys, it's trivia time. What global disaster do you think claims the most lives if you had to guess? If you were gonna say earthquakes or fires, you'd be wrong. It's in fact drowning. So today, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get in the water with Dalen and his crew. We're gonna find out what it takes to survive a situation where you could potentially drown or you're in danger. I'm not a water guy, it kind of freaks me out a little bit. Dalen and his crew are over here. They're gonna get me into their gear and they're gonna show me what's what. So let's catch up with them. Come on, guys.
Water-related events account for about 44% of the annual natural disaster destruction. When you look at it from a global perspective, that equates to 360,000 fatalities annually related to water.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So Dalen, can you tell us a little bit more about the science of why these things are potentially dangerous, the flow of the water, and just can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so basically if we just take the water-based environment, you've got fixed features that are within this body of water. So we've got rocks that can create undercuts, meaning currents can push things underneath those rocks. You've got rocks that create obstacles in the water, or trees or any other obstacles, and that's gonna divert current. So current's gonna come down, it's gonna hit those things, it's either gonna come over them or it's gonna come around them. Those are all really important things to understand. In addition to that, you've gotta analyze just volume and velocity. So how fast is the water moving? So if we jump into water at 4 miles per hour, which is basically a brisk walk, you're gonna get about 62 pounds of force in each square footage of contact. You jump that speed up to about 8 miles per hour, you're generating over 200 pounds of force per square foot point of contact. So people will look at that, they'll get in the water, next thing you know, they're 30 feet downriver and completely unprepared for it. Water rescue as itself is one of the most challenging physical things that we do. So the level of fitness, the level of proficiency as a swimmer that's required to actually negotiate a river and get from point A to point B and not miss your targets, it takes a ton of training and a ton of conditioning to be able to do that. So yeah, the common person that's not understanding the water, or the recreational people that aren't trained or prepared for the water, they're in it for a world of hurt when they jump into environments that are not what they're used to.
That would totally be me. So
we're gonna find out today, buddy.
I hope so.
You're gonna swim and apply the things that we talked to you about, and you're gonna make your way through all these different current changes to get to the target that we established for you.
Okay. Yeah, I can do this.
All right, Pei Cobb, so doing a quick orientation, just a crash course on reading the river. There's 2 basic flows I want you to focus on. One's called laminar flow, one's called turbulent flow. Laminar flow is all these clean particles of water that you see coming down, nice, even, running all in the same direction. And then when you see whitewash like that, that's gonna be turbulent flow. The turbulent water sometimes will have what we call hydraulic in it. And you're gonna get this spin cycle of turbulent water where if you hit that, it's gonna push you back into the feature and just hold you there. Okay?
Is it gonna pull me under the water?
It can, yeah. That forms a V, okay? We call that a downstream V. So when you're coming through this, you always wanna shoot for the middle of that downstream V where you see all that water flushing. So anytime you have obstacles, being these rock features on each side, and you get a constriction point with a push of water, these side areas are gonna be what we call eddies. Okay, and eddies are where you actually have a current differential, currents coming upriver, and if you get out of your V and get into this water, it is going to hold you or carry you back up into the obstacle. So these are often safe havens for us. When we're trying to get out of moving water, you want to look for those obstacles and you want to try to get on the downriver side of the obstacle if you've got good, clean eddy water. So most of the time, eddies are targets that we're shooting for. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Pei Cobb, this is Doug Highland. Doug Highland is our dive guru extraordinaire, as well as one of our most advanced swiftwater experts. Now here's my rule of thumb with you before you start working with Doug. You do exactly what Doug says at all times, but don't go where Doug goes, okay? Doug is like our Evel Knievel on the team, and his capability levels are really high. So when he jumps into certain water features, don't follow suit, okay? Just do what he says. Don't do what he does. We good?
I think I can handle that.
All right, buddy. Doug's gonna walk you through some ground school here on your defensive swim techniques.
All right, for defensive swimming, we want to keep our head up, looking downstream at all times, looking for any hazard. We also want to keep our feet up. So we're going to kind of hop down here with me.
All right.
So I'm looking downstream, I'm facing downstream. I can paddle some with my hands to steer myself left or right.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna keep my feet up so I'm not catching my feet in any rocks or any debris down in the river. All right, so as we're going downstream, we wanna go to river left. We're gonna point our head up towards river left. We're gonna set our body at about a 45-degree angle towards that river, towards that side of the river. And then we're gonna back paddle and we're gonna swim hard. So practice moving your arms, nice big circles. Get yourself at a 45-degree angle with the current, kick your feet, and pull yourself to swim the shore. All right,
Like
you're
that?
gonna make big circles. Yeah, nice big circles, swimming hard. Cup your hands so you get some water,
Okay.
and kick your feet hard. Oh, come on, you gotta kick hard, man. Let's go, come on.
This is hard, man. Like a bird, right?
Very much.
Okay.
Backstroking bird.
So like it's a water angel, right?
There you go.
Okay.
That's what that looks to you, a
Like-
water angel. Good.
I like it.
All right, let's go do it. Okay.
All right,
All right, so just
we got the suspenders. Make sure they're in the front.
Feels a little cumbersome. I don't know. I don't feel very agile in this. Yes.
You're about to find out.
This is it, guys.
There you go. I mean, you can look, but grab the and
All right, we're going to get Pei Cobb introduced to his gear and get him dressed up. On average, the firefighters want to shoot for about a 2-minute dress out time so that when we respond to an event, we can get on scene, get dressed in a proper amount of time to get in there and effect the rescue. We're going to see how Pei Cobb does.
Pull, pull, pull.
Jeez.
the last thing you want is a leak right there.
We don't want leaks. I feel like I'm about ready to go out and play in the snow. You know what I mean? Like about to build a snowman.
And in reality, you have about 2 minutes to get all this gear on.
Oh, so I'm way behind.
That's okay.
Shit,
First time.
I suck. Okay.
All right, why are you putting that on?
About to get into the drink, guys, get into the water, and seeing as how I can't even get dressed by myself, I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do it. So.
You'll be just fine, man.
All right, I'm already hot.
So Pei Cobb is going to be fulfilling the role of victim.
And Doug's gonna walk you out. He's gonna be your shallow water crossing partner. He'll get you in a position. He'll tell you when to drop down in. And then just listen for my voice on this side. You got a safety over on the other side. And you got 2 safeties downriver. Those guys down there are gonna be throwing to you and they're gonna retrieve you. So just listen for them.
Okay.
You wanna do a headbutt or something?
All right.
Pei Cobb, Pei Cobb. Okay, so dry suits trap air. And as you enter in, all the compression of the water forces all the air up top where the gasket is, and it turns into a giant air balloon on top of the body. We're not gonna burp Pei Cobb, we're just gonna let him experience that at first, and then we'll fix it for him.
So Pei Cobb is going to be fulfilling the role of victim. If you find yourself in the water and you're coming down current, you want to try and be attentive to who's on the bank. Watch for those rescuers calling out to you. A rescue swimmer is the most advanced level water-based technical rescuer. He's going to identify where the victim's at in the water, start verbally calling out to him, and if he has to go right into what we call a go rescue, then he's going to time up his shallow water entry, which is basically a belly flop with your face downriver. Depending on how fast the water's moving, he's either going to leap in right at the victim or slightly before the victim. And then his goal is to swim and control his body position on water until he gets hands on the victim. From Pei Cobb's perspective as the victim, just trust your rescuer. In this evolution, Pei Cobb is going to receive a throwing rescue.
Trying to coach victims to do that because it sets up your natural ferry angle. If you anchor it on your outside shoulder, the one facing the bank, and when it locks, it spins you over on your stomach, and then you're like a dobbler on the end of a line, and you're just taking water in the face.
Well, that sounds great.
So we go to this side, so it sets up a ferry angle and helps push you into the bank with the current. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, swimmer in the water.
Okay, so this is how it's supposed to be done.
Yep, so Doug's just gonna blow right through here. He's gonna set up a good line, and then they're gonna send throw bags to him. So as soon as he comes through, there's a bag, he takes that line, you see all of them right on target. He's gonna lock right in on his right shoulder, and he drifts right in.
See, he makes it look and sound easy, but I'll mess it up.
I got faith in you. I got faith in you, buddy. Okay, reload. So if you're that victim and you find yourself banging downriver, you're gonna look to your banks for rescuers. So you should have emergency responders showing up, or state park people, or people within that zone that are attuned to water rescue. They're gonna be coming down on the bank, typically in pairs. They're gonna have throw bags with them. If you're receiving that rope bag, keep in mind as a victim, you wanna try and take that as you're oriented to the river, and this is river left and that's river right. If you're receiving a throw from river left, you wanna try and put it to your right shoulder. If you're receiving a throw from river right, you want to put it to your left shoulder. That's going to set that natural ferry angle and let you drift into the shore. If you put it on the wrong shoulder, typically the first thing that happens is it spins you over on your stomach. You start taking a face full of water, and then you either end up basically holding on for dear life until you're sick of taking water in the face and you let go, or you change your body position. One of those two things are going to happen pretty quick. Roll! Right shoulder, lock it in, stay on your back. Good job. On these.
This leg is not all of it though. This leg's good.
Just like.
Pei Cobb's obviously got legs full of water. Relief zippers on the front of the suit are supposed to let fluids out when you need it, not fluids in.
Leg up. Just go to your stomach a little bit.
There we go. Better?
Yeah, much better.
All right, go to full push-up position. Water broke.
I'm so violated right now.
Yeah.
All right.
In this evolution, Pei Cobb's objective is to swim out of the dangerous current into a safe zone. It takes a lot of commitment and a lot of conditioning and a lot of reading the river. We'll see how Pei Cobb does.
Backstroke with your right arm. Pull with both hard. Pull with both. Pull with both. Pull with both. Pull with both. Backstroke hard. There you go. Swim. Swim hard. Swim hard. You all right? You got your hand right here, buddy. Okay.
Well, once I got down to the part where downstream V, I pretty much just forgot everything he told me to do, and it just like water went up my nose, and I kind of panicked for a second, and I just started flailing around. I didn't feel like I was really going anywhere, so I don't know. I don't know how they keep their heads together when it's actually moving at a faster current or a faster rate.
Now, you ended up about 30 feet down here.
Yeah.
So you felt how quickly you need to make adjustments and changes if you want out quickly. So on this next go around,
that was a lot quicker than I thought.
Yep, on this next go around, we're gonna push your tempo, okay? So as soon as you drop in, I want you to immediately start pulling with your right arm to set that angle so that you're pulling right over towards, we would call this an eddy line. That as soon as you hit the whitewash, you're immediately pulling forward bolt or barrel roll and then forward aggressive swims. I want you to try to not get any further downriver than about this rock.
That was crazy. I felt like I was kicking over here, but I wasn't going anywhere.
You get really disoriented real quick, don't
Yeah, I
you?
didn't know where I was, but
All right.
that's the way it is for me most times of my life, but it was really weird there.
Here's another important sequence for you. It's called a mammalian dive reflex. When cold water hits your face, your first human instinct is to go and start guppy breathing,
That's what I did.
okay?
That's exactly what I did.
So you gotta be really disciplined about setting up your breathing pattern. Before you hit that, if you know your head and face is gonna go underwater, and you gotta be disciplined about holding your breath. And then when you pop up, It's short, quick breaths, looking for the next obstacle that may plow you in the face again, because you don't ever want to be inhaling when a standing wave or a push is coming right at your face again.
Okay.
So watch your breathing.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Let's see it again.
All right. Can't catch my breath. I'm completely gassed.
Yeah, you can or Doug can.
And I just went like 10 feet, so, oh man. They make it look pretty easy, but it's actually really, really rough.
All right,
I feel like
Pei
an
Cobb.
uncoordinated gummy bear in there.
All right, Pei Cobb, Greeny's gonna show you one, buddy, so you can see the line we're looking for. So as he's coming down, he's gonna set himself up before he even hits that whitewash with a little bit of a ferry angle with his head coming towards river left. All right. So as soon as he comes through that, it's gonna be one pull, one barrel roll, and then a couple of really intense power pulls, power strokes, and he's gonna drop right up in here.
Okay.
Swim in the water. All right, so here goes Pei Cobb's last crack at it. He's got to get a lot more intense. He's got to follow his lines a little bit better. We'll see if he can track his line and pull through that quickly. Try and fire him up so he can pull hard. All right, butt up, watch your line, Pei Cobb, stay oriented. Backstroke right, backstroke right. Roll, pull hard, roll, roll. Come on, buddy, pull hard, kick and pull, kick and pull. Keep pulling, keep pulling. Fly down a little bit, more towards me, more towards me. Good, roll over and backstroke. Keep backstroking, you'll get pulled right back in. Backstroke, backstroke, backstroke. Best one yet, buddy. That was closer.
Yeah. You all right, buddy? No. I'm tired. Okay, I'm good.
All right, so Swiftwater Technician, all your rescue instructors are out here. That course, just that introductory course, is 5 days of this, 10 hours a day.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, can we say screw that?
3 main takeaways regarding the water environment. Number 1, respect it. It is dynamic and it's always going to be more powerful than we are. So make sure that you understand what you're getting into. Number 2, be intuitive. Understand what the water is doing to the best of your ability and respond. Try to use currents and features to your advantage to get to safety. Number 3, don't ever give up. Water is going to be one of the most powerful environments you've ever been in. And if you stop swimming, stop struggling to stay afloat and get to safety, you're always going to be on the losing end.
Okay guys, as you just saw, it's nowhere near as easy as they make it look. When I was in the water, I kind of felt like I was completely out of my element. I ran out of gas early on. I got like maybe 6 feet downstream and I was already puffing and like gasping for breath. So I guess I just learned today, you know, you want to keep your feet downstream and tuck your chin. And aside from that, man, it's pretty rough today. It's pretty rough. Is there any tips you could have given me, that you want to give me that I could have done better?
You know, I think the beauty of today is it really does illustrate why people get in trouble and why drowning is so prevalent globally with water that people aren't prepared for. So there's a big break and a lot to understand between what you understand up here, how you process it, and how you apply it. Hopefully today we've given you some tidbits about what to process up here. Leave it to the professionals on the application side of things. But if you find yourself in this position, try to remember the ferry angle principle. Get your head going towards the bank that you need to get to and get off the river as quickly as possible. Biggest lesson learned, I'd say at the end of the day, you can't stop swimming. Once Mother Nature and the current grabs you, if it's taking you to a place of wet death, you gotta swim hard, you gotta swim fast, you gotta get out of the obstacle.
Mother Nature will definitely bend you over. That's what I learned today. So.
Mother Nature 1, Pei Cobb 0.
Okay guys, so that was the first episode of Rescue Methods, Water Danger. If you like what you saw, smash on that like button, subscribe, and just remember, don't drown, turn around.